In my Boxabl Casita video where I talked all about the new 375 square foot manufactured home that is set to cost only $250 a month, I had a lot of people in the comments that were asking about all of the additional costs associated with buying a manufactured home.
Tell me the truth.
Because $250 a month sounds way too good to be true. In the city where I live, in Portland, Oregon, I have not seen a single home, not even a manufactured home, cost that little per month. So it's only natural to wonder, what's the catch? In this video, I'm going to walk you through all of the other things that you might need to pay for if you want to buy a Boxabl Casita or really any other manufactured home. And by the end of it, we'll be able to determine if the Casita is actually objectively affordable or not. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, my name is Irina. I am a licensed real estate agent in the state of Oregon, and here on my channel we talk all about the latest news in the world of real estate, the workforce, and the economy at large, and why all of that information is relevant to you. I do also love sharing vlogs and behind the scenes of my life as a real estate agent. I have a whole playlist dedicated to that on my channel, so if any of that sounds interesting to you, definitely make sure to subscribe and turn on your bell notifications so that you never miss another video. I also wanted to say just a huge thank you for 1,000 subscribers. I am so grateful. You guys don't even know. I actually started this channel. It will be my 1-year anniversary on January 28th, my YouTube birthday, if you will, and it was a huge goal of mine to reach 1,000 subscribers before that 1-year point, and you guys have helped me get there. Thank you so much. I promise there's going to be a lot of awesome and interesting content coming in 2022. I'm so grateful that you guys are all here, and I'm just really excited to build this community further. Now, without any further ado, let's get into all of the additional costs that you might need to prepare for if you want to purchase a manufactured home like the Boxabl Casita. Is it actually $250 a month, or will it end up costing you more than that? The first cost that you have to prepare for is land. You cannot buy a Boxabl Casita if you have no land to put it on. The most perfect scenario is if you're purchasing the Boxabl Casita as an ADU, or an additional dwelling unit. So that means that you already live on a parcel of land, you already have a primary dwelling, a main house, and you're just buying the Boxabl Casita as an additional dwelling unit to put either behind your main house or in front of it. That's exactly what me and my husband are doing, so we kind of, I guess you could say, lucked out in the land department because we don't have to go out and buy a whole new parcel of land. If, however, you do not have a parcel of land yet and you're planning on buying one just specifically for this manufactured home that you want to buy, the cost can really vary depending on which city and state you live in. Location plays a huge role. Obviously, you know, places like California are going to have much more expensive land parcels than other states in the United States. Even in Portland, where I live, the lots are quite expensive. The most affordable one that I could find when I was looking specifically for this video sits at around $55,000, but really the majority of homes I saw from between $90,000 to $150,000 for a parcel of land, and it can easily go above $150,000 as well. Of course, it depends on the size of the lot too. So if you don't have a parcel of land, that is a big cost that you would have to prepare for in order to actually be able to place your Boxabl Casita on a piece of land. Then, of course, there is the cost of shipping. Boxabl's warehouse is located in Las Vegas, Nevada, and on their website, they stated that their shipping cost would be somewhere between $3 and $10 per mile. If we take an approximate cost estimation of $5 per mile, then for my address specifically here in Portland, Oregon, the shipping cost would be $4,821.05. Now, obviously, if you live in Nevada or just near Las Vegas, then the shipping cost would be much more affordable for you. And if you live internationally, the shipping cost could be astronomical. So again, it depends on where you live, but for me, it would be just about $4,800. Building permits is another really important factor that you have to take into consideration. Some cities don't charge as much for their permits as others. Here in the city of Portland, our building permits can be so expensive. Rip off! Because we are going to be placing the Boxabl Casita on our land as an ADU, we talked to the city and the cost for us would be about $12,000 to pull a building permit, which is so much money. It's like almost aggravating how much money that is. If you live in a different city, it could be more expensive or more affordable, but that's around what it would be for me and my husband to place a Boxabl Casita on our parcel of land. Now, of course, we also have to take utilities into consideration. I got so many comments asking about utilities on the Boxabl Casita video where I kind of go more in depth about the house itself and how I ordered it, and I talked about cost a little bit, and a lot of people were curious about the cost of utilities. Now, just to put it out there right in the beginning, I cannot give you an exact number because it just is so different depending on your location, the contractors in your local area, but I can give you kind of a ballpark estimate. Your location and proximity to public utility connections is also going to play a huge role in how much utilities are going to cost for you. If you buy a parcel of rural land, you're somewhere out in the woods, your utility cost is going to be a lot higher than if you live on a residential street in the city. So let's take these utilities just one by one. For water, it could be anywhere from a few $100s to $5,000 to get water on your land. If, again, you live somewhere out in the woods and you don't have access to public water, then you would need to drill a well, which also the cost depends on how deep you want the well to be, but it can be anywhere from $2,000 to $25,000. Now for sewer or a septic system, again, if your parcel of land is close enough to the city sewer, all you would have to do is pay for that connection to be made from the city sewer to where your house is going to be. But if you are on a parcel of rural land, you are going to need a septic system, which, depending on the system itself and how advanced it is, it could be anywhere between $3,000 and $20,000. Now, as for power, if you are purchasing the Boxabl Casita as an ADU and you already have a primary home on your lot, you might be able to pull power from your main home to the Boxabl Casita, which would save you a lot of money because you wouldn't be starting from scratch. But if the main house doesn't have enough power, or if there isn't a main house at all to begin with, an additional pull will be required. The important cost determining factor is the distance from the nearest power pole to where your house is. So again, coming back to the conversation about if you are living in the city close enough to a power pole, it's not going to cost you as much as it's going to cost you if you are like a mile away from the nearest power pole in the woods. The electric company might provide a certain amount of distance or wiring for free, and then beyond that point you would have to start paying, but that really varies from company to company. So if you really know that you want to get started on this project, what I would do is call local electrical companies and ask what their rates are and what kind of a distance they provide for free. This cost can be a few $100s or even several $1,000s, again, depending on your location and that proximity from the power pole to your house. It also really depends on what electrical companies charge in your particular area. All in all, a cost of between $10,000 to $30,000 for utilities is to be expected if you have no utilities on your land. If you are buying the casita or a manufactured home as an ADU and you already have utilities present on your lot, it could be a lot cheaper than that. Then there is the cost of foundation, because remember, the Boxabl Casita does sit on an actual fixed foundation. It's not like a mobile home where it's portable and you can move it around. Foundation can cost between $6,000 to $20,000, and again, that depends on the type of foundation that you decide to go with and the prices that contractors are charging in your particular area. Boxabl does have pictures on their website of what kind of foundation types are compatible with a casita. Now, all of these additional costs can sound so daunting, especially if you don't have land yet. But on Boxabl's website, they do say that you can wrap a lot of these additional costs into your 30-year mortgage. So all in all, with a lot of these, utilities taken into consideration, the cost of foundation, just all of the things that we talked about, your monthly payment could actually end up being between $250 and $500 a month, depending on the cost of all of those other factors that we talked about. I honestly find it really encouraging that you can just wrap a lot of these costs in with your mortgage and still have a pretty dang affordable mortgage, because paying for all of these things up front can just be such a financial burden. Foundation, utilities, all of these other things. If you're paying in full right at the start, you are going to be spending a lot of money, and not a lot of people can swing that. So being able to wrap that into your mortgage will hopefully be able to help a lot of folks out. So is the Boxabl Casita actually affordable? In my personal opinion, I will say a resounding yes. Yes, 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 yes! I do think that this is a very affordable housing solution or alternative to traditional housing, especially in an area like Portland, where I live, in more expensive cities and states. This is definitely a much more affordable option when compared to some of the other listings that are out there, the traditional homes that are being sold. I totally understand if you're like in a different state where housing is already pretty affordable and you're looking at this price tag and you're thinking, I can get something in my city for way cheaper than that and I can get a larger home. I got some of those comments on the Boxabl Casita video as well, and I get it. It really depends on your location and what kind of homes you have available where you live. But in my opinion, just from my perspective, where I live, this is definitely a very affordable housing solution. Again, you guys, thank you so much for watching, for being here. I appreciate every single one of you. If you want to see more of my life behind the scenes, definitely make sure to follow me over on Instagram. My username is @IrinaD. I absolutely love interacting with you guys on there. And of course, you know that I am a real estate agent here in the state of Oregon. If you have any real estate needs, whether that's buying, selling, or investing in properties, all of my contact information is in the description box down below. I would absolutely love to hear from you and help you achieve your home goals. Other than that, I will see you next week for a brand new video. Bye!